Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome our master of ceremonies for this evening, a renowned comedian and actor who can be seen in the current season of Curb Your Enthusiasm. Please welcome Elon Gold.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you. Okay, before I start, I just want to say 3 words. Am Yisrael Chai. Now, why is this night different from all other nights? Because tonight, we are going to take a momentary pause from the hell that we witnessed in our beautiful homeland and around the world. Tonight, we're going to take a break and honor 2 amazing people. Michael and Richard, let's hear it for them right now. Yes. Tonight, we're going to have a drink, we're going to have a nosh, we're going to have a laugh. Yeah, we're going to have a laugh because my people need laughs right now. We need laughs, and I love my people. I am a proud Jew and a proud Zionist. And I love my people. I love the Jewish people outside of this room, not here. Most of you I don't care for. Half of you were talking. Nobody applauded when I came out. I heard one of you go, "Is that Modi?" You know, really. They're still talking. Shh. Thank you. But tonight, we're going to try to have a good time. And yes, from Curb Your Enthusiasm, a show that I did this year. Yes, thank you. It's okay. To the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles Lifetime Achievement Award Gala. You know, the highs and lows of show business are really astounding. No, I'm actually honored. I am honored that you chose me to MC this. When I think of all the comedians they could have asked, and I heard it was down to me and Dave Chappelle. Oh, yeah, we're going there. We're going everywhere tonight, people. We're going there. Dave said the Jews run Hollywood. If the Jews ran Hollywood, don't you think I would have hosted the Oscars by now and not the Chabad telethon or this? You know. But tonight we're going to do it. We're going to stand for Israel. And, you know, we have, thank God, we have the IDF. Thank God we have the IDF. And they are fighting. They are fighting on the front lines. And every day, I'm fighting online. I'm fighting online. I'm so brave. I'm sitting in my home office on my phone going, "No, you suck." But every day, I'm doing everything I can for Israel. I am doing so much. And I mean this, I am doing so much. I'm doing so much for Israel. And I know I'm starting to sound like Trump up here. You know, nobody does more for Israel than I do. Nobody did more for Israel. Nobody, not anybody. And I know a lot of people, folks. I know so many people. I probably know more people than there are people. I mean, how many people are there? What, 7 billion? I think now 8. 8 billion people. Thanks to me, we've got 8 billion people. And nobody did more for Israel than I did. Not even David Ben-Gurion. Not even David Ben-Gurion did more for Israel than I did. And I knew his father, Gurion. I knew Gurion. Didn't do anything for Israel, total disaster, and nobody did what I did. I gave you the Golan. I gave you the Golan Heights. I was going to keep it for myself. I was going to develop. We were going to build.
We were going to make properties. We were going to do like we have in Florida, a golf course. It was going to be the Mar-a-Lago Lawn Heights. We were going to do the Trump Mar-a-Lago Lawn Heights Golf Club. We were going to do that. And by the way, we're going to win bigly. You know, we're going to win so bigly. I thought that it was going to be BB and Donnie back together again, but they don't like it very much right now. But I'm going to win so bigly. I'm going to win more bigly than anyone. It's going to be a bigly wiggly. We're going to do... I've got so many people on my side. I've got Kanye.
I should just do this for the rest of the night, right? Thank you, two people. I appreciate it. Oh, wow. By the way, don't worry. Don't worry. I'll get to Biden also. Oh, yeah. But, you know, you can't kick a man while he's falling down. Biden's either falling down or falling asleep. Did you see him at that press conference in Israel? Now, granted, he landed, and that's a long flight. We've all done it. And none of us have went from that flight to a press conference, but the man was dozing off. He was reading from a card. He was like, folks, Israel is, my dad, yeah, I know. Listen, I'm nonpartisan. I hate everybody. But Biden, I just look at what's going on in the world, right? There's wars. Shh. You look at the economy, inflation's up, gas prices are high. Gas prices are so high, even Reform Jews are walking to shul. I don't know, it's crazy though. Joe Biden, to me, is it me? Joe Biden is like the substitute teacher of presidents. Right? Remember when you had a substitute teacher and you were like, we don't have to listen to you. You're not going to be here tomorrow. It's been crazy. The last few years have been crazy. We went from everyone being asymptomatic to anti-Semitic. Unbelievable. Shh. But I'm here to stand for Israel. I'm here to stand with our beautiful Los Angeles Jewish community. Yes. And I do love Israel. I perform there all the time. Last time I was there was December. I did a New Year's Eve show. It was 1,000 people, sold out, not important. Standing ovation, no pressure. Yeah, these people wouldn't stand for Hatikva, I'm getting. And it was a beautiful show. My only issue with performing in Israel is after the show. After the show, Israelis will come over to me, and Israelis end every sentence with a question. So they'll come over to me and be like, you did funny show, no? What do you mean, no? It wasn't funny? No, this is what I'm saying. The people, they were laughing. Yes? But I love Israelis. I love Israelis. And let me tell you something. Israelis are different than us Jews, right? I know they're Jews. They're the real Jews, but they're different. Israelis are like brave and strong and sexy and macho. Jews, look around the room. You know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between Israelis and Jews, okay? Israelis fight back. Israelis return fire. Jews return merchandise. It's a different... Israelis have to deal with BDS. We have to deal with IBS. It's a whole different thing. Israelis are battling terrorists as we speak. We're battling allergies as we speak. They have Iron Dome and the IDF. We have Claritin and Allegra. It's a whole different thing. Israelis, each and every one of them gets drafted into the service. Jews, we complain about a draft to the service. Waiter, is there a vent open? I feel something blowing on my shoulder here. You can't compare Israelis to us. They're incredible. They're athletic. Yes, they are athletic. Shh. Israelis are athletic. They're the only Jews that get any sort of medals in the Olympics. It's unbelievable. And we all go crazy when Israel wins. And Israel, they go nuts when they place anywhere in the Olympics. I remember 5 years ago, true story, and then we're going to start the program. Shh. 5 years ago, these two Israeli athletes won the bronze medal. So they lost. But they were treated to a hero's welcome back home. They got to meet with the prime minister. There were parades for these two losers. Could you imagine sitting on a float in a bronze medal, waving at crowds like, almost, we almost, no, it was very close. It was very, believe me, trust me, you don't know, we were so close, we missed it by a bamba, believe me, a beastly, we could have, it was his fault, we had a problem. You have to understand, you win the bronze in Russia, they put you to death, okay? You show up, they're like, hello, you just won bronze medal, how would you like to be executed? Win the bronze in Iran, they will hang you with your bronze medal, right in the center of Tehran, with all the Persian people walking by going, why they hang him? What, he gay? No, he won bronze medal. Oh, this worse than gay. You win the bronze in China, they don't kill you. Worse, they send you to Teaneck, New Jersey, and force you to open up a kosher Chinese restaurant on Christmas Eve. But I will tell you my one issue with being in Israel, and then we'll start the program. Shh. My one issue with when I'm in Israel is that I don't speak Hebrew because I only went to yeshiva for 15 years. Now, I can read it, but I don't get it. My parents lost a small fortune on me, okay? They could have moved out of the Bronx years before they did, only to have their idiot son standing there in Israel going, Ech omrim, late checkout. Low noon, Shnei. Shnayim, Shtayim. Shatay o'clock. I have a late flight. I have a late flight tonight. Halayla hazeh. Halayla hazeh, Shatay o'clock. I was like reading from the Haggadah just to communicate with them. And it's the same with my kids now. My kids go to school, yeshiva, here in Los Angeles, called Maimonides, or as I like to call it, my money dies. Because they don't speak a word of Hebrew either. We're like one big dopey family walking around Israel with that same dumb one-word answer to Ata medaber ivrit, kitzat. And I don't blame the schools. These are good schools. I'm not knocking the schools. It's the curriculum. It's their focus. Their focus is not on language. It's on what you're not allowed to do. Don't do this. Don't do that. I know that I'm not allowed to mix wool and linen in my suit. But I don't know the Hebrew words for wool and linen. I know that if I eat fish, the fish must have fins and scales. And the Hebrew words for fins and scales. Thank you. We know rules we don't need to know, laws we'll never use. I know that if my ox, do I have an ox? Not at the moment. But if my ox gores my neighbor's sheep, right here in Westwood, Los Angeles, I know that I'm liable for the damages due to my negligence in fixing my broken fence. But I don't know how to apologize to my Hebrew-speaking Israeli neighbor for his dead sheep. I don't know. I would be like, slicha, your shalach, shalcha, who lochai anymore, leolam va'ed. All right, are you ready to start this program, everybody? Thank you. We needed that. I needed that. I needed that. I needed to be funny, to feel funny, and to make my fellow Jews laugh. But let's start this program. It's going to be an incredible, inspiring night. I need your attention, though. Are you ready for this? Shh. All right, here we go. All right, we'll use this. Please welcome the Milken Community Schools members of the Kol Echad Choir. Let them know. Come on, everybody. Yes.
Please rise for the national anthem. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glow, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Please join us for Hatikva. Kolot balevav penima, nefesh Yehudi homiya, ufatem Mizrach kadima, ayin lezion Sophia, od lo avda tikvateinu hatikva bashnot alpayim lihiotam chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion ve'Yerushalayim lihiotam chofshi be'artzeinu eretz Zion ve'Yerushalayim.
Great job, guys. Great job. Let's get the podium. Okay, here we go. And now, shh. Please welcome to the stage Orna Wallens and Lynn Bider.
Hi, I'm Orna Woolens, Chair of the Board of the Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles.
And I am Lynn Bider, General Campaign Chair of the Jewish Federation.
We are delighted to welcome you to the 2023 Jewish Community Lifetime Achievement Award Gala, honoring Michael Koss and Richard Ziman. We gather together in gratitude and appreciation. Michael and Richard are lifelong friends to each other and to all of us here tonight, and lifelong leaders. Wise, bright, caring, and committed, these two of a kind have dedicated their lives to building and sustaining our community.
We are living in somber and dangerous times. Our Jewish Los Angeles community stands unified and strong because of incredible leaders like Michael and Richard. They are steadfast in their commitment to our Jewish people in Israel. They are articulate in their passion and act on their sense of purpose. Michael and Richard epitomize to all of us in this room as Jews throughout the years, throughout the generations, we are responsible for one another. Thank you to our dinner chairs, Arna Nadar, Linda and Marty Blank, Joyce Brandman, Lauren and Rodney Friedman, Lori and Steve Gordon, Hella and Chuck Hershon, Harriet Hockman, Barbara and Dan Horowitz, Elisa and Zane Koss, Patty Glazer and Sam Moody, and Janine and Herb Nadell.
Thank you to our honorary co-chairs and committee, all of whom are listed in your program. We are grateful to all of you for helping to make tonight an extraordinary success. We are here to honor the lifetime achievements of Michael and Richard, but truly the honor is all of ours to be here together celebrating the two of you.
Welcome to our past Lifetime Achievement Award honorees. Please join us in recognizing Erwin and Hilgard Field, Annette and Leonard Shapiro, Soroya Nazarian, who was honored along with her husband Eunice Nazarian of blessed memory.
Welcome to our past Federation chairs here with us tonight, Erwin Field, Todd Morgan, Harriet Hockman, Stanley Gold, Richard Sandler, Les Bider, Julie Platt, Albert Praw, and our honoree, Michael Koss.
Welcome to the Federation leadership joining us tonight. Julie Platt, again, Chair of the Jewish Federations of North America, and Heidi Monkarsh, Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles Vice Chair.
Welcome to our elected officials joining us tonight, former California Governor Gray Davis, esteemed Los Angeles Mayor Karen Bass, who we will be hearing from later this evening, former California Senator Robert Hertzberg, former Chair of the Los Angeles County Board of Supervisors Zev Yaroslavsky, California State Representative Jesse Gabriel, former Los Angeles City Attorney Mike Fuhrer, and Sharona Nazarian, Beverly Hills City Council member. Thank you all. Lynn and I, along with all of you, know that our hearts are breaking in this sad time for Israel and for our people, but Richard and Michael, we will have a beautiful evening in your honor. So thank you, and now please welcome to the stage tonight the dinner co-chairs who will lead us in Hamotzi.
Fresh holler there is.
No, they had it in the table. I don't want to be
Who's starting? We're supposed to have microphones? Let's do it. What about you?
Okay, Herb. Very good, very good. It is now our great pleasure to introduce our esteemed Los Angeles mayor and good friend of our community, Mayor Karen Bass.
Thank you, everyone. Good evening. I really appreciate being able to gather with you tonight to honor two very important people, Michael Koss and my friend of many years, Richard Ziman. Richard first told me months ago that he had been selected to receive the Jewish Federation's Lifetime Achievement Award, and of course I wanted to be there to support him. I was supposed to be in Washington, D.C. this week with a delegation of council members, but when I heard Richard was going to get the award, we changed our schedule. We went to D.C. last week so that I could be here today. However, when he asked me to come, neither of us knew what was going to transpire in the world. That was well before the atrocities of October 7th. Before the vicious Hamas attacks and the thousands of civilians murdered and the hundreds of people abducted. We spoke before the death and the displacement in Israel. We spoke before the vicious attacks and the more than 1,400, mostly civilian Israelis murdered and the more than 200 people abducted. We spoke before 300,000 IDF reservists, including some from Los Angeles, were called up to defend Israel. We spoke before what happened early this morning, when two Angelenos who moved here from Israel had someone break into their home, yelling threats and insults based on their faith. So let me just say this unequivocally. The vile and disgusting acts of hate that took place this morning has no place in this city. The people of the city of Los Angeles stand with the people of Israel, and I, as your mayor, stand with you. I spoke to the family. I don't know if people are aware that the wife is due to expect the baby in 2 weeks. And I asked her how she was doing, the stress of what happened today. I wish that I was up here saying something completely different, that we were just celebrating two remarkable men and their extraordinary contributions to the Jewish community. And I know that we'll get to that. But first, I wanted to express my deep concern, not only for the families of those killed, injured, or kidnapped, but also for how directly this is affecting those in this room and residents across the city. In Hollywood tonight, there is a vigil for two young women who grew up attending a synagogue there who were killed at the music festival 2 weeks ago. I know there are many families in Los Angeles who have an empty seat at the table because their young ones have been called as reservists to serve. Since the attacks, I've talked to friends with families in Israel and heard about their fear of losing their loved ones. I've met with leaders like the Consul General Bahar to thank him for the work he continues to do on behalf of Angelenos in Israel. I've spoken to leaders at the federal level, like the Homeland Security Secretary when I was there last week with the delegation of council members from Homeland Security about what the department is doing to prevent and to respond to targeted violence in our communities. I've heard many times recently how alone people are feeling in this moment. I want you to know that I will do all I can to help Angelenos feel safe and be safe during this difficult time. Many of you might know that I grew up in a predominantly Jewish community on Fairfax and Venice, and I went to school right up the street from there at Hamilton High. Some of my friends growing up during those years, their parents were Holocaust survivors. And I remember when I saw their tattoos, and I learned at a very young age what that meant. But I also learned in that time and from those elders, I also learned what solidarity meant. And that is the true power of this city. The coalition, the collaboration, the unity for a better tomorrow. In the face of tragedy, we must do the hard work to keep our broken hearts open to the humanity of every child and every innocent life touched by this violence, and to work for a better future. We must come together in times of sorrow and in times of great joy, which is why we come together tonight to celebrate two men who have dedicated their entire lives to the betterment of this city, the lives of all of us here this evening. And I want to say to both Michael and Richard that the city of Los Angeles thanks you for all that you have done. And just a special word to Richard, who I have known for many years and who has stood with me through very tough times. And I know former Governor Gray Davis is here too. I don't know exactly where you are, Governor, but what I do know about you and Richard is that when I had the honor and privilege of being Speaker of the Assembly at the beginning of the Great Recession in 2008 and 2010, and I was overwhelmed by my responsibility, Governor Davis was there for me, and Richard Ziman was there for me. Guiding me and telling me what was going to happen with the economy. And Richard has been a guide and an advisor to me ever since then. And that's why I was so excited to know that he was going to receive something so well deserved for all that he has done for our city. And it is such an honor for me to be here and bring greetings to everyone, but it's a special honor to be here for Richard Ziman. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Mayor Bass, everybody. Thank you. That was incredible. I want to go off script for a second to just say to the mayor, Mayor, you have no idea how much gratitude we have for you and your support for our community, for standing with Israel. We feel so alone in this world. We feel so alone. And to have you as an ally, thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. And it makes me feel extra guilty that I forgot to vote that day. But I promise you have my vote next time. I was busy. But we really do appreciate it. That was so heartfelt, and that made me feel so good. Okay. Thank you, Mayor. Now I'd like to introduce, he's a great guy, Rabbi David Woznicka, who's, Rabbi Isaiah Zeldin Chair at Stephen Wise Temple. Please welcome the great Rabbi David Woznicka, everybody.
Thank you, Elon. Why do we break a glass at the end of every Jewish wedding? It comes from a verse in Psalms, even when there is rejoicing, there should be trembling. Even when there is rejoicing, there should be trembling. And the Talmud speaks of two rabbis who at their sons' weddings took an expensive glassware and smashed it because there was too much celebration. A friend of mine, Rabbi Lisa Malik, suggested the opposite should be true as well. when there is trembling, there should also be rejoicing. So tonight, some thoughts about trembling and some thoughts about rejoicing, indeed celebrating. We are at a painful, perhaps dramatic turning point in the history of our people, and we are trembling. World events often occur in moral shades of gray. Not this one. We, along with the rest of the world, have been a witness to pure, unadulterated evil. And if one cannot call this pure evil, then your moral compass is askew. If you talk about occupation, if you talk about issues of resistance, if you talk about it's complicated, your moral compass is missing. The stakes are far too high to mince words here. We've implored the world never forget what happened to our people some 80 years ago. But there is something that is occurring right now that I beg of us not to forget. In this room are some of the most influential and powerful people in this city. Do not forget those who stood up and defended Hamas, those who blamed Israel. Do not forget those organizations, those institutions, those universities, those movements, and those individuals who supported or stood silent. And if they have been the recipient of your generosity, stop your support now. And send that money to Israel. It is time for them to tremble. And at the same time, tonight we celebrate. Let's celebrate that our community is blessed with a Michael Koss and a Richard Ziman. I know much will be said about these men. They have reached, the two of them, the heights of leadership in the Federation, in AIPAC, in Birthright, in think tanks, in Jewish day schools, and well beyond, and it is a privilege to honor them. Israel is strong because of them and because of you. Let's celebrate our beloved Israel. From the year 70 of the Common Era, when the temple was destroyed by the Romans, until 1948, 1,778 years, all of those years, our people hoped and dreamed and died in the prayer that one day Israel would be returned to the Jewish people. Let's celebrate that blessing, that we are all alive at this very moment in history, something our people could never have dreamed of for thousands of years. And in the program, it lists that I'm to give an invocation along with remarks. So let me offer that. Let me invoke God. Dear God, you spoke to our people at Mount Sinai, and you gave us the Torah, and you entrusted to us this spiritual and moral treasure called Judaism. You named us the chosen people, chosen for the task of living a life committed to you and to the mitzvot, to live by the ideals and teachings of the Torah. You designated us to be an or lagoyim, a light unto the nations of the world. So if I may say, dear God, you need us. You need the Jewish people, and you need Israel, and we need you. We need you to help us to bring comfort to the thousands of our people who are bereaved, and we need you to stand beside us to give our people strength, to bless our leaders, to bless the men and women of the Israel Defense Forces and the families of Israel. We are strong, we are resolute, we are driven, and we are decent. And dear God, with you by our side, the people of Israel will prosper, and with your help, we will celebrate our Judaism and our people for thousands and thousands of years. Am Yisrael Chai. It's my pleasure to introduce someone who genuinely needs no introduction to you, President and CEO of the LA Federation, Rabbi Noah Farkas.
Good evening, everyone. It's nice to see such a room full of so many wonderful people, and I want to thank you for coming. I, too, want to add my congratulations and my gratitude to our mayor, Karen Bass, for her strong and unequivocal standing and support with Israel. Please join me in thanking her again. We're here tonight to honor lifetime achievement. Although with these two individuals, I feel like the word achievement is just not enough. Achievements isn't enough. There is something about Michael Koss and Richard Ziman where the word achievement fails to capture the breadth of their passion and dedication to the Jewish people and to Israel. Dick, Michael, Mazel Tov, congratulations. I am so proud to call you friends. We're here because we believe in Jewish life, and Michael and Dick believe in Jewish life. This is a life full of camps, of Jewish identity, of joy, of singing, of Shabbat dinner tables together. This is a life that sends, as we as a federation does, spends thousands of people to Israel to help them develop their Jewish identity and to draw us closer to our tradition and to our future. Mike and Dick have supported for dozens and dozens of years these initiatives. But it's into this world, it was into this space of joy that 18 days ago, our joy was shattered. 18 days ago, we experienced the worst murder of Jewish children and parents, grandparents, women, children, babies, since the Holocaust. Just a week and a half ago or so, I flew to Washington, D.C. In fact, I was there the same time our mayor was there. I wasn't there to talk about Los Angeles. I was there to meet with a number of other Jewish leaders, including our chair, Orna Woolens, who is with us, to meet the leadership of the United States government, to thank them for their support of Israel and to demand their continued support of Israel. And we got assurances from Chuck Schumer, Senator McConnell, Leader Jeffries, Congressman Scalise, and Homeland Secretary Mayorkas. Biden was supposed to be there but decided to take a trip to Israel the morning I arrived. So I didn't have a chance to meet him. Although, as I said to some people earlier, I texted their staff members to see if I could just hop on a ride with Air Force One to Israel, and they politely declined. But that night, I did fly to Israel. And I have to say, one of the most heartening moments was coming into Ben Gurion Airport, knowing that I was going to our homeland to visit our people, and on the tarmac was sitting Air Force One. That, to me, speaks volumes about the unshakable alliance between the United States and the State of Israel. Now, while I was there, I met with the Prime Minister, and I met with the President, and I met with members of his war cabinet. I met with the Foreign Minister. But more importantly, I met with families of hostages. I met with evacuees. And I met with wounded soldiers. And I heard their stories. I actually brought with me tonight from one of the parents of one of the hostages. This is a bracelet that is the ticket to the Supernova Festival. And ever since I was been in Israel, I carry this with me all the time. And it says on it, Nova, and it has October 7th, 2023. And it says in Hebrew, and I'll just say it in Hebrew, Ad shekulam kan kulanu adayin sham. Until everyone is here, there are people who remain there. Which, I don't know what that means in terms of a trans peace dancing festival, but I know what that means in terms of us. Until we're all together, there will always be some of us who feel like they're on the outside. And I cannot help but think of the tragic irony of what's written on this bracelet when a parent of a hostage who gives it to me and says, essentially, my child is not here. My child is out there. We as a Jewish community are hurting. And what happened on October 7th is the most despicable thing in my lifetime. And I will tell you, this is the message that the Prime Minister told me to share with us. I do not know if we are prepared as a Jewish community for this war. A war we did not choose, a war that is just, and a war maybe that we might have felt as inevitable. But it will be long, and it will be bloody. I was walking the hospital at Hadassah in Kerem, and they have converted every administrative room and every classroom and every broom closet into an open hospital bed, row after row after row of empty beds, waiting for mass casualties. The Israelis are ready. They have the intelligence, they have the will, they have the righteous cause, they have the backing of the United States and the Western world order. The hospitals are ready. They're ready. The question is, are we ready? Because there are actually two wars. There is the war for Israel's existence, which our soldiers in the IDF are going to fight, and they will win. But there's also the war of Jewish and Israel's legitimacy, which no one in a uniform can fight. That's for you and for me. On campuses, as you know, across this country, here in LA, even just last night, as the mayor said, Jews are being targeted, Jews are being attacked, the idea that a Jew can walk down the street as a free human being in this country, that very idea is now under threat. There are two wars, not just one. One for Israel's existence and one for our legitimacy, and we have to fight both. Now, since the horrible days of October 7th, just 18 days, the Jewish Federations of North America, the backbone organizations that make Jewish life happen in this country and in 70 countries around the world and in Israel, in those 18 days, we have mobilized more people, more money than in the history of our people collectively since the beginning of the diaspora. In 18 days, we have raised over $400 million just through the federations to help those in Israel. This federation This LA Federation in 18 days has raised over $23 million from over 5,000 donors. But we made a pledge. We made a pledge. We said in our generation, at this moment, of what our ancestors expect from us and what our children are watching us. We live in the second largest Jewish community in the United States, the third largest Jewish community in the world. 23 million is only halfway there. We need to raise $50 million for the Jewish people and for the state of Israel. Yeah, you can clap for that. It's our historic responsibility. I will tell you, a vast majority of these donors who are new are young. They are finally stepping up and saying, this is our generational moment. This is our moment to show our grandparents that never again meant never again. And to show our grandchildren when they ask us, where were you in 2023? You said, I stood for Israel. And so I'm asking you tonight to make that generational commitment. To make that commitment to the Jewish people, to make that commitment to the state of Israel. These funds we raise, these funds we've already raised, these funds we continue to raise, these funds go directly to help families who are victims of terror. We help them with housing. We help them with food. We help them with medical supplies. We help them with cash. Our fund, 100% of it, is passed right to the street. It's allocated twice a week. We've already moved tens of millions of dollars from LA and over $100 million from the Federation system onto the street. And so I ask you tonight, yeah, you can clap. I ask you tonight simply this. I ask all of you tonight, if you've already given to the Israel in Crisis campaign, I want to thank you, but ask you to give again. Because this is not a short-term commitment, this is a long-term commitment. This is our generation's opportunity to say never again. If you have not yet given, this is your opportunity to realign your philanthropic portfolio, to stand with the Jewish people, and to help those most in need. And so please take a minute now. There are QR codes up on the screens. There are cards on your table. There are staff walking around. In all seriousness, this is our moment. This is our night. And before we get to the rest of the evening of celebration, take a moment and say, I stand with the Jews and I stand with the Jewish state. Thank you very much. Am Yisrael Chai.
Hello. Good evening. I'm Michael Koss. Thank you. And I want to just do a quick follow-up on Rabbi Farkas's remarks. Thank you very much, Rabbi Farkas. I was in New York on a vacation with friends, including the Zimans, and we happened to be there when this war started. And I sat in my room and I watched the horrors that were going on the internet. And the next day, I immediately sent an additional $100,000 to the Israel Crisis Fund. And we had previously made our commitment for the year and given $100,000 for sponsorship for this dinner. But I think that it's an existential threat to Israel, what's been going on there. And I think it's important that Jews in America, and particularly us, try to provide as much support to them as possible. So I would like to ask you to stand with Israel. Now, what does stand with Israel mean? To me, it means stand and announce a contribution to the Israel Crisis Fund. Who would be willing to do that? I want to start with Richard. What would you like to do?
Put a guy on the spot. It's not. Is it working? Michael, May and I, with pleasure, are going to add another $100,000, As many of you know, I have the privilege for the last 20 years, together with Marty Blank. Where's Marty? Raise your hand over there. Marty Blank. I've had the privilege to be a co-trustee. Marty and I are just the two of us, so we make all the decisions ourselves. And on behalf of the foundation, we've made the decision tonight for Israel, $500,000, $500,000.
Thank you very much. Who else wants to stand with Israel? Yes.
Richard, in honor of
Keenan?
you.
Wait,
I thought.
Did you put your hand up? Oh, Les Bider. Okay.
Hi,
Les.
I'm Les Bider. Recognize me? Lynn and I, in honor of both of you and standing for Israel, also give an additional $100,000.
Thank you very much. Who else would like to stand? Keenan, please. Thank you. Thank you very much, Keenan and Orna. Thank you. Who else? Anybody else would like to stand?
Yes.
Zane,
Oh.
my son.
Elisa and I will do another $10,000 for Israel. And I just want to encourage a lot of young people that are in here tonight. It doesn't mean that you have to stand up and say $100,000 or $500,000 or $1 million. Well, that'd be nice too, of course. But, you know, you could stand up and say anything because we're desperate in our community for money to help all of our friends and family in Israel. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Zane.
Oh, I have the mic now. Michael? Michael, over here. Michael? Michael?
Yes.
Over here. Michael?
Joyce.
I'm going
Joyce.
to try this again, okay? In honor of you and my dear friends May and Richard and my late husband, I'm going to give you $500,000.
Fantastic. Thank you, Joyce Brandman. Barry, Andrew, Barry and Andrea Caton.
Congratulations, Dick and Michael. And we've already given $1 million match. But in honor of you two and in memory of my father, Jonah Goldrich, we'd like to give another $100,000.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Michael? Hi, it's Stuart Brookman. How are you?
Hi, Stuart.
Hi. So Lynn and I mean, we've been looking forward to this dinner since, October 7th. And maybe I'm a little younger than you guys, but what we would like to give is $25,000 tonight because there's nothing more important than this evening and community here. And I think that aside from the slogan of we all stand with Israel, but as Jews and seeing what's going on around the world globally and on college campuses and here in our city, it is just so heartbreaking. So that's what we'd like to do. And there will be more to come as this situation continues.
Thank you very much, Stuart and Lynn Brookman.
Noah and Naomi Hockman. We recently committed an additional $15,000 to the Jewish Federation for this cause, for the Emergency Israel Fund, and we'd like, as of today, to commit another $10,000.
Thank you very much.
Michael, my name's Jeffrey Abrams. I'm proud to serve as the ADL Los Angeles Regional Director. I am so inspired and have been for years before I had this position by you and by Dick, your friendship and your guidance. The Samuel and Helene Sora Foundation will contribute another $10,000 this evening.
Thank you very much, Joe. Thank you. Somebody up there?
Hi, Michael. Hi, Michael.
Hi.
Congratulations. Mazel tov.
Oh, hi, David.
How are you?
Quite a distance.
When we spoke on the phone the other day, I told you that we had committed $115,000, my wife and I. And because of my fellow bald brother, Zane, I felt compelled to increase that by an additional $20,000 to $135,000. Thank you, Zane.
Thank you, David. Thank you.
Hey, Michael. Michael, behind you. Cam Shabani. Hey, Michael. I'm over here. Keep looking, keep turning.
Yes. Oh, hi, Cam.
Hey, Michael. Michael has been my mentor for a number of years. I told him earlier, nobody but him and Dick Ziman deserve this award. I love you, Michael. I told you that in private. I'll tell you that out in front of everybody. I love you very much. You've done so much for the community. My brother and I want to donate $50,000.
Thank you
Michael.
very much, Cam Yard. I love you too.
Michael.
Barry.
It's Arnie Gilbert and Gloria Lushing, my wife. As some of you know, we got caught in the war in Israel and finally got home last Saturday evening. So we were part of all of this in a more minor way. And although we've gifted before, I want to make an additional gift of $25,000.
Thank you very much, Arnie.
Thank you.
Dr. Arnie Gilbert and Gloria Lushing. Barry Burkett and Martha.
In addition to the $1 million that the Orton family has already given, because the rest of our Roxbury Street has given $100,000, Martha and I would like to give another $100,000.
Fantastic. Thank you very much. Fantastic.
I'm John Monkarsh and my wife Heidi here and my sister Julie Godinsky. In honor of my dad and my parents, we'd like to make an additional $100,000 gift.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. Ron Sims and Vicky.
Michael?
Yes.
Over here.
Excuse me.
Hey.
I'm sorry. Yes.
Scott Silver here on
Hi,
behalf
Scott.
of Michael. It's Yasher Koach. It's wonderful to see your warm Jewish heart here, giving our community as always. And I'm just so honored to know you and be able to do work for you. And on behalf of my wife, Karen, and I, we're going to add $10,000 to our donation. Thank you.
Wonderful. Great. Thank you very much. Ron and Vicky Sims.
Thank you.
Michael. Oh.
We'd really like to do our part. We've previously said that we'd give 100. We'd like to add 300, and that would add to a total of 400. And then we've also done for others, but thank you very much. That all you
Amazing. Thank you very much. Fantastic.
Michael, behind you, Andrew Altschul. Jolie and I just want to say thank you. You've been my mentor, my inspiration from the start, and in honor of my parents who passed this year, we just want to add an additional $25,000.
Thank you so much, Andrew. Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
And Jolie.
Hey, Michael and Richard, thank you so much, and Mazel Tov. And on behalf of Hannah and Yossi Reinstein, we'll give $5,000. And specifically for Ella Koss's bat mitzvah, we'd like to recognize that next weekend.
Thank you very much. Yes.
This is not 100,000. I wish it could be. But in honor of you and Dick Ziman, I'm Sam Shapiro. My partner David Schwartz and I, on behalf of our firm, would like to represent the smaller donations and represent $1,800.
Thank you very much. Very much appreciated. Anybody else? Yes, please stand. Steve and Jody Fishman.
Hi. So I would just say that this is really an existential threat. We all knew it was coming, but not like this. And I would say for us in this room who have means, give till it hurts, and then give a little bit more, because it's needed. And it's, Federation is giving the money out. It's going out. Jody and I have paid an additional $100,000.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Steve.
Hello, Michael? Michael? Back here? Jim, Back. Hi, Michael. Hi, it's Simon Mendelson here on behalf,
hi, Simon.
in behalf of myself and my wife, Sharon. We will be making a $10,000 gift to the emergency fund.
Thank you very much, Simon.
I'm Jim Horwich, and on behalf of my wife Ada and myself, $50,000.
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay,
Yes.
Michael.
Please.
I could only wish the best for Richard and Michael. I've known you both for better part of 30 years. For us, we're going to make a donation of $10,000.
Thank you, Rob Lipp. Thank you very much. Yes, Steve Frankel.
So, Richard and Michael, we came to celebrate you. We did not know when we donated $25,000 this would happen. So my husband and I, Dan Ricketts, are donating another $25,000 for $50,000.
Thank you very much, Steve. Anybody else? Yes. Oh, Mark.
Hi, Michael. In honor of you, Dick Simon, the amazing work you've done, but especially now for the people of Israel, Sylvia and I would like to add an additional $10,000.
Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Sarah. Sylvia. Anyone else?
So my 8-year-old son, Xander, this week decided to run a campaign by himself for the first time and raised $1,835 for Israel. And he gathered and bought supplies for the Friends of Israel plane, but he has a little cash left over, and he is donating $250 tonight.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Julie Monkarsh-Gadinsky, and I just want to say that in honor of you, Michael, in honor of you, Dick, true friends of UCLA, true friends of UCLA Hillel, and our community, and my mentors, I add additional $5,000 in the honor of the two of you.
Thank you. Yes, Rodney. Thank you, Rodney and Lauren. Thank you very much. Anybody else?
Michael, back here.
Hi.
Yes.
Hi, Michael. We haven't met. Gary Schoenfeld. I was really moved some years ago walking the campus of the Hebrew Union College in Jerusalem, and there was Dick Ziman's name. And as everybody's expressed, this is our generational moment, and it's a really sad moment. But on behalf of my wife, Michelle, and our 3 kids, $36,000.
Thank you very much. Fantastic. Anybody else? Yes, Lori.
Stephen and I are honored to give another $100,000.
Oh, fantastic. Lori and Steve Gordon, thank you very much. Anybody else?
I'm coming behind. I'm on my way. Sorry.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Adrian Adar. I'm here, honored to be here with my father, Arnon Adar, and on behalf of our family, we're going to donate $50,000, and in honor of you and Dick Ziman for being such
Thank
wonderful
you
friends
very
and supporters
much.
of Israel. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Arnon.
Oh.
Yes. Somebody else want to say something?
Michael, in honor of you and in honor of Dick, I, along with the Flag family, would like to give $50,000.
Thank you, Josh.
In honor of Uncle Dick and in honor of Michael, cousins, nephews will collaborate for $10,000 in honor of all of you. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else?
Oh, I'm over here.
Stand up, please.
Behind you.
Patty
There's a mic.
Glazer.
There's a mic behind you.
The least we can do is write a check. We're not in Israel fighting, and my husband and I are glad to contribute an additional $50,000.
Thank you very much.
Did you get Gary Winehouse for $10,000? Right here. Do you want the mic?
Yes, Rabbi.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Michael, and in honor of my friends Dick and May Ziman, who I got to stand under the chuppah with, my family pledges $3,600.
Thank you very much. Yes. Please stand.
Hey,
oh,
Michael.
Scott.
Scott Littman. And on behalf of my wife, Alicia, and our two daughters, we'd like to give $18,000.
Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you.
Mikey, turn around. Over here.
Ah, okay. Yes. Marvin.
Hi, Mikey. We think
No,
you
Bobby.
guys.
Hi.
Hi, Mikey. You guys have been terrific as long as I can remember for our community, and we've already given to Israel, but we're going to add 50,000 more.
Thank you very much, Bobby and Barbara. Thank you. Okay. Anybody else want to say something? Okay. I just want to conclude by quickly telling you that it was not our intention to do any kind of solicitation tonight. That's a true story, because everybody who came here was very generous, and we really appreciated that. And we didn't want to do another ask. But we didn't anticipate that we were going to have this kind of an Israeli crisis. So I'm very grateful for all this additional support. I know Richard feels exactly the same way. I want to remind you these cards are on the table. You don't have to stand up. You could sit down and fill the card out. Thank you so much.
Hello. Michael, I want to thank you. I want to thank all of you. I want you to understand what just happened. This has been the most successful Israel fundraiser in LA history tonight. You have made history tonight. Millions of dollars were just raised. Thank you for those who gave. Thank you to you, Michael. Thank you, Dick, for all of your leadership. I'd like to bring out Ilan Gold.
Wow, wow, wow. What a showing. What a showing of support. Shh. Isn't this a room full of big machers? I just wanted to see one person raise their hand and be like, Shirley and Irving Schwartz, triple high, $54. Not one of you did that. This is a room full of machers. And me, the idiot, I gave a discount to do this thing. I booked this gig months ago I offered half off. What an idiot I had no idea what I was coming into here. But I want to also offer my support, $1,800 from me. Thank you so much. Thank you. All right, here's the fun part. We're going to have a little bit of fun for 2 minutes. We're going to honor these amazing men. We are going to eat dinner, and then we could all go home. So here's the fun part. A little light roast, okay? I need your attention. So I asked for some information on the honorees. And who sent me stuff? None other than their wives. Because who better to roast a man than his wife? So here's what I got. I'll almost read it verbatim, just a few notes, and then we'll bring them up. Okay, shh. This is for Richard Ziman. Okay. Very generous. Are you listening, guys? Okay, shh. Okay. This is his lovely wife, May. Are you guys here? Okay. Very generous, can throw the nicest parties, but will look at the cost and complain why there's a charge of $15 for ice. Way to perpetuate our stereotype, Richard. Thank you so much. I spend my life dispelling our stereotypes. I go on national television and say, Jews are not cheap, okay? Cheap people don't spend. We spend, right? Just as long as we know we're spending less. Because for us, it's all about getting a good deal. You got to get a good deal. From the day you get circumcised, once you get that first 10% off, you're going to want it for the rest of your life. That's right. All right, then she goes on. Both Michael and Richard have been married twice before. Again, this is from his wife. So just to give him a little zets, you know what I mean? Third wife, he's 81, by the way, so he's about halfway done in wives. He actually said this is the last one. He checks the kitchen trash and rearranges it neatly. Our honoree is a garbage man, ladies and gentlemen. He goes through the trash. Oh, this is interesting. He was kicked out of Hebrew school when he was a kid, right? Because he was very talkative, and he is still very talkative. Again, this is from his wife. He's the talkative one. Okay, fine. It's okay to buy anything as long as he can use coupons. Richard is the reason they hate us. I just want you to know. A man of his stature taking out and ripping coupons at Ralph's. It's embarrassing. Went to dental school for a day and a half. Thank God he left dental school or he wouldn't be here. Nobody honors dentists, you know what I mean? Please welcome your honoree, the great orthodontist. You know, that never happens. So thank God he left dental school. He owns office buildings. Yeah, so I'm sure business is booming since COVID. This is my impression of Richard 2 months into COVID. Damn you, Zoom! All right. Because nobody left and went to their office. Okay, fine. He fishes. He fishes. Yeah. Never caught anything but a gefilte. And then here's my favorite thing. I met his lovely wife tonight, and she said, yeah, oh, Dick. I said, Dick, what? Yeah, that's what we call him, Dick. Richard. His name is Dick. And I said, well, why do you call him Dick? And this is from his wife. Because he's the best dick in town. That was the quote that I heard right there while they were passing out hors d'oeuvres. It's an actual quote. And good for you, Dick, really. Good for you. And it gives us all hope as we look into our 50s and 60s and 70s. And at 81, you could still give good, Dick. But anyway, and now very quickly, of course, Michael Koss, his wife, Corey. How about a hand for Corey, who gave a quick notes from Corey. This is what I got from Corey, and then we'll meet them. Okay, he had the same 2-course breakfast every day for the last 20 years, prepared and served by me, by her, she said. Greek yogurt with granola and honey, and then a 17-ingredient smoothie. This was the first thing I said, tell me anything about your husband. This was the first piece of information I got. His breakfast routine with cereal and a smoothie. He is often, this is again from the wife, he is often on Instagram watching dog videos. Yeah, I'm sure he's looking at dog videos on Instagram. Yeah, no, honey, I'm just looking at bitches. He loves, this is again from his wife, he loves watermelon popsicles and has one after almost every dinner. Cereal for breakfast, popsicles after dinner. Michael, what are you, 4? It's ridiculous. And then this is my favorite from his wife. Quote, even though he's basically bald, he has me cut his hair every 6 days. That should be on his card. Michael Koss, basically bald. He likes to speak in a British accent, as do I, by the way. And you know my bit that went viral about the British, right? The British and the letter T, right? You know this bit. The English and the letter T, right? Sometimes they ignore the letter, right? It's like, what happened? Where did the letters go? And there are 2 T's in the word letter, and yet they're nowhere to be found. Now, I understand if there was like 1 T, you missed it, that's fine, whatever. 1 T, whatever, is 1 T gone, that's fine. But like when there are 2 T's, you skip over it. It's like, it's rude. It's like the letters don't even matter. The English and their T's, they spend half their day drinking tea and the other half ignoring them. Anyway, that goes better. You should Google that on YouTube. It's a good bit. Anyway, here's the other thing. He doesn't like elevators, but he chose to live on the top floor of a high-rise. I don't like heights, but my hobby is skydiving. I mean, really, it's... So because we're running late, there were a few other things that they sent in, but instead of a roast, we love these guys so much, we just made a really nice tribute video. So please turn your attention to the screen.
We are privileged tonight to honor 2 people who've had a lifetime of impact in the Jewish world. A lifetime is really not adequate to describe the work of Michael Koss and Dick Ziman, because they've both given so generously to causes that serve the Jewish future that the truth is we're celebrating many lifetimes of impact.
There is an old saying, give until it hurts. But Michael's approach to the Jewish community and Federation is give until it feels good.
I asked Michael Koss, what is he working so hard for? So he said, the more money I make, the more money I have to donate.
Richard is nonstop. He just keeps on going. His mind tells him he's not tired.
He feels very deeply about being Jewish. He looks to the Federation as the ultimate Jewish organization to contribute both his time and money.
Richard keeps his friends well informed about all the wonderful causes he supports. If you're on his list, you know exactly what I mean. It can be really expensive being friends with Richard.
He said, yes, I want to make you a rich person so I can come and ask you for money.
He's very charitable with his finances, but he's also really charitable with his time.
They are Hineni, 24 hours, 7 days a week.
Achievement to Richard
means deep societal impact. It means directing philanthropy where it counts, as it counts, in a strategic, targeted, impactful manner.
Dick and Michael should have been biopsied at birth, because only with the philanthropy gene in their DNA could they be as kind and generous as they are.
I think it was President Truman who said, if you want a friend in D.C., get a dog. If you want friends in L.A., get to know Michael and Richard.
Michael Koss's favorite word is yes. Whenever I've called him to ask him to help me with something that I'm working on, he just shows up. It's always yes, yes, yes.
He has so many little MK-isms. It's an attitude is everything with a Jewish twist. He taught me that everyone comes with their own mixed bag of opportunities and obstacles. What my dad has taught me over the years is how to be grateful.
There's something that I call the Ziman magic. It's how he connects people, it's how he connects issues, it's how he connects institutions. That's the Dick Ziman magic.
Just think of how blessed and fortunate I am to be able to have a role model like that.
He's got a great phrase, it's never leave well enough alone. It's not good enough to let someone else's history interfere with what you think is the future.
When you're in a big room with Michael, that doesn't matter, because when he talks to you, he makes you feel like you're the only person in the room.
Michael's ability to change lives is profound. He dramatically changed my life when he took me in at the age of 12 and raised me. He's just somebody who shows up as, how can I help?
I have never seen anyone work as hard as he does and love what he does as much as he does.
My dad is one of the kindest, most supportive individuals that I've ever been blessed to know.
Michael and Richard, you are both true masters of our community, but Richard, you're the only true Master. And we love you for all you do in the community. Michael, every time I got a call when I was younger to be solicited by you, I learned, and now I get to solicit you back.
When difficult times, Richard is strong. He is not going to say, woe is me, or this is terrible, people are picking on us. He's going to find a way to respond eloquently but strongly.
Richard is someone who he's a polymath. He's interested in everything. He knows about everything. He looks at the world, how do I make these systems work better? Michael is an incredible optimist. He looks at the universe as a wonderful place and he wants to help people.
They have been hugely successful in their businesses, and they have done this with great passion, with great energy, tenacity.
The most impactful thing about Michael is the way that he leads by example.
I think his true passion is not really realistic. I think it's really food. Because if you know anything about Richard, you know how obsessed he is with food. He knows where all the best restaurants are, most of which are either dives or in some small restaurant in a shopping mall. He could be a food critic.
He gets fully vested. So whether it's doctors, whether it's professors, whether it's the Federation.
Somebody needs a medical procedure at City of Hope or UCLA, he will make those calls immediately, and he's done it 100 times.
He has retained a lifelong sense of curiosity.
Each and every meeting with Richard is an experience in the most positive way of the word.
Dick Ziman's a convert. He converted from Trojanism to Bruinism, and even so, he's such a committed Bruin. He's just an amazingly intense, dedicated individual.
We couldn't be happier to celebrate two wonderful men who are both mensches in our community.
I have a somewhat unique perspective on Dick and Michael in that I first met them when I was 17 years old. They really exemplify to me what it means to be a mensch.
I've known Michael and worked for him for 40 years. I just think the word mensch comes up again. He's just a mensch.
I know my parents would be overjoyed that he's made the Jewish community such a big part of his life.
Earlier this year, we lost Michael's dad, Marty, at 101 years of age. I know that somehow he is smiling ear to ear right now because this evening is so special and we're all so proud of Michael, but I know he would be the proudest.
He's always been extremely generous and kind and hardworking. And those are all things that I want to emulate in my everyday life.
Prioritize your family,
in your community. His family is extremely important to him.
The biggest thing Papa Mike has taught me is always trying to be an upstanding part of the community.
I love Papa Mike because he takes me to Terranea. I love Papa Mike because he's fun. I love you, Papa Mike, because he gives me candy and stuff.
My husband and Richard share a sense of humor. Watching his dad go through all of these mishaps, like the bee in his pants, but he doesn't laugh loudly. He laughs quietly with his mouth open. And then he starts bopping his head.
Yeah, and you still haven't heard the punchline.
He has given me way more than I've ever dreamed of in my life.
Mazel tov.
Mazel tov, mazel tov, and mazel tov.
Michael, you are my world, and I am so proud of all of your accomplishments.
I have the Los Angeles Business Council who want to congratulate Michael and Richard.
Michael, mazel tov.
Dick, congratulations.
Michael and Richard, may you live to 120 and beyond.
Congratulations, Dad.
We're really proud of you.
We love you.
Mazel tov.
Congratulations, Dad. Love you very much.
Congratulations, Dad. I love you so much.
Congratulations, Senior. I love you so much.
Dad,
Michael,
Richard, congratulations on your Lifetime Achievement Award. We love you.
Rich, congratulations.
Congratulations, congratulations, Papa Mike. We love you.
Congratulations, Papa Mike.
Congratulations, Richard.
Richard, congratulations on the Lifetime Achievement Award with Michael. I love you.
Richard, Mazal Tov.
On behalf of all of us at City of Hope, a heartfelt mazel tov.
Mazel tov. I love you both.
Mazel tov. It's not a lifetime yet. I think there's going to be a sequel.
Pretty neat, huh? Pretty neat. You know, it's one thing to be honored, but it's another thing to be honored with such a close personal friend. A guy who you just saw get up there and handle the crowd. A guy who is a vicious little dog of a fundraiser. A guy who has done it so much, so long. He is, my opinion, Mr. Jewish Federation of Greater Los Angeles. Just to say a few things. He was chairman of the board of the Federation. He was Federation's vice chair. He was the Federation's campaign chair. He was also chair, believe it or not, of the restaurant division of Federation at one time. That's where Michael began, in the restaurant business. But probably the most singularly important thing Michael has done with his co-chair, Ada Horwich. Ada, where are you? Ada, where? The two of them co-chaired the Centennial Campaign Program. The Centennial Campaign Program was initiated only a few years ago on the occasion of the 100th anniversary of the Federation. So it's just a few years ago. But that campaign, that singular campaign, which is still ongoing, has raised over $100 million of permanent endowment for the Federation, which, I mean, think about it. The Federation doesn't have to get out of bed in the morning, and they should have $5 million to start. And that's just, and we invite, by the way, everyone, and I'm sure Michael and Ada will be in touch with you after tonight, but especially those that are new money. But think about that in terms of the longevity and the future for the Federation to carry out its mission. And Michael and Corey are not just Federation. They're also JNF, Birthright, APAC, leaders in all those organizations. The Jewish Home for the Aging, now known as LA Jewish Home. We'll get to you later. We'll get to you later. And so many more. I can't say enough about Michael as a wonderful person, father, husband, and a true committed Jew, a true committed individual, and a guy who really is, to May and I, a very close personal friend. And so it's our pleasure, after May says a few words, to bring Michael up here.
Having seen Michael's involvement in numerous charitable areas of our community, I am convinced that, as is Richard, that Michael is Mr. Federation. But behind every Mr. Federation is Corey. Corey is totally there and totally supportive. The world is a better place with Michael and Corey. Michael, please join us.
Hi. Wow. Come on out, honey. Yeah. So, thank you very much, May and Richard. I'm really overwhelmed with gratitude by the support that Richard and I have received on behalf of the Jewish Federation and by your presence here tonight. I want to first express my most heartfelt appreciation to all of you. I also want to acknowledge and thank Orna Woolens and Lynn Biter for their outstanding leadership. And of course, Andrew Kushner, Betsy Berger, John Magoulas, and Rebecca Webb, who all did a splendid job in organizing this event tonight. I especially want to thank my darling, awesome wife, Corey.
Thank you.
Corey is always happy to partner with me in all of our community involvements. I love you.
I love you too.
And of course, my dear and amazing friends, Richard and May, who we consider family. I'm extremely honored and proud to share this recognition with Richard. I'd like to share a little about my charitable philosophy. My original inspiration to give and be involved in our community started with my parents. My mother was active in Hadassah and was the president of the local chapter, and she solicited funds in the neighborhood for them door to door. My father, who passed away this January at 101 years old, was in the restaurant business. He took me to the restaurant division dinner in my early 20s for the Federation. And he told me that it was important to stand up and make a pledge. And he also said that it was important for me to continue to do this every year. My father was an exceptionally generous person. He supported countless charities and helped many other young people in our community who he believed were in need. And I observed that he did not need to be asked. When he saw a need, he responded. He had some cute sayings that he often quoted to me over his lifetime. For example, he would say, "Mike, you have done well, spread it around." And he also would say, "Don't give until it hurts, give until it feels good." My father was very proud of my commitment to the Jewish Federation and other charitable organizations. And he often said They should give you a dinner. I really wish he could be here tonight. I believe that all of us in the world are interconnected. When we do good things for other people, it can boomerang and impact many others as well. So doing good and being charitable helps to repair the world. When my son Zane was young and started his first restaurant, he came to me for some advice. He wanted to understand how I prioritized my giving. He said that he was getting a lot of requests for contributions from various local charities, temples, churches, and children's sports teams. My advice to Zane was to always try to say yes. At least give what you are able to. He has developed as a generous community leader, and I am very proud of him. My message to everyone here is the same. Try to always say yes when you are asked for support. I'm also very proud of my daughter, Autumn, who has served as a PTA president of her children's school and continues to contribute to the Federation in Boston, as well as my daughter, Nikki, who has been active with the PATH organization, which addresses the needs of homeless people in Los Angeles. I'm truly humbled by this award because I really have always believed that I got much more than I ever gave to the Federation. It has been a source of joy for me, enhancing my esteem and spirituality, plus the many wonderful friendships that I have made, as evidenced by the response of so many generous people here in attendance this evening. To close, I wish to once again encourage you to fill out your pledge card for the Israel Crisis Fund. Say yes. It won't hurt. It will feel good. Thank you, and God bless.
Good job, Ed.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much. Now, Corey and I are very proud and honored to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to our very dear friend, Richard. I can think of no one more deserving of this Federation honor. Richard has dedicated his life to helping others, chairing numerous philanthropic boards, and he is a co-trustee of the Gilbert Foundation, which provides critical grants to many vital organizations here and in Israel. He is truly a natural-born leader, and we are all the better for it. Thank you. I must repeat a story about him that I believe is illustrative of his intelligence and knowledge. Early in the 1980s, I was in the mortgage business, and I took Richard to lunch along with one of my associates. We were hoping to have the opportunity to finance some of his projects, as he was already very successful. When the lunch was over, I told my associate that we could not work with him. He looked puzzled and asked why. I explained to him that even though we were in the lending business and we had a team tracking lending sources, Richard knew more lenders than we did. Richard and I have shared many interests. We have both been very concerned about the Jewish community, and we share similar political views. Also, we are both in the commercial real estate business. Our friendship has grown over the years, and today, Richard and May are like family to us. Richard is a highly principled person who always wants to be of service to his family, his friends, and his community. We have traveled a great deal together, and his penchant for planning with attention to every detail has greatly enhanced our trips. And he has a great sense of humor, so we always have a fabulous time together. I'd like to add a little something to this list of amazing attributes of Richard's. Do you want to say something?
I do want to say something. The list is about as long as my arm because he's such a fine person. But I have to say at the top of the list of these amazing attributes are his wife, May. She is one of my closest friends, and she's the perfect match for such a fine man as Richard. She's enhanced every experience we share together, all of our travels, and I have to say, I love them both as family.
I can truly say that Richard is the most high-energy person that I've ever known. He's a few years older than me. I work very hard to stay in good shape. However, I cannot seem to keep up with his pace. Richard starts his day early, and he has meetings scheduled back-to-back much of the day. He still manages to find time to read a book once a week, travel extensively, be a devoted father, husband, and take on endless political and philanthropic projects. Richard, we look forward to seeing you in action for many more years to come. Richard, you are a legend in business and philanthropy. Congratulations.
Whoa. Well, Michael stole 6 of my 7 pages. So I'm going to get rid of this page. And it's almost time for dinner anyway. I'll get rid of this page. Well, let me just say, I really want to thank each and every one of you. Our mayor, is our mayor still here? I want to thank our mayor because she has, and which I always knew, but she hit the ground running when she became mayor. She's approached homelessness, affordable housing with energy, commitment, and everything else you can gather, and we are seeing the difference that she's making, and let's applaud. I want to thank all of you for the simple reason is, first, you made your normal pledge this year at the Federation. You made your normal pledge. Then you had the Lawyers' Dinner or the Real Estate and Construction Industries Alliance dinner, and you had to give again. And then, out of nowhere, because this dinner has only happened 5 times before in the 100-year history of the Federation, you got to hold a date card or an announcement, and there was something called a rate card with it, and you had to give again. And then you come here. The rabbi gets up, he talks, Michael gets up, and you got to give again. I think it's great. I think everyone in this room needs an applause for themselves. Because, as Michael said, I think you've all given until it feels good, and I hope it does. How did a kid born and raised in Williamsport, Pennsylvania get here? My parents, and my father, by the way, was an immigrant from Lithuania, came to this country at 11 years old. His father died of a typhoid in the old country, so he was fatherless, and started first grade at the age of 13. His mother enrolled him, his Orthodox and observant mother enrolled him into first grade at age 13 in a Catholic school, because the lower east side of Chicago was overwrought with lots of problems, and she felt he had to learn English. And by the way, starting at 13, he graduated high school all 12 grades. All 12 grades at the age of 20, with 35 football scholarships, full football scholarships to play football in schools in the Big Ten, including Notre Dame, and other schools. And unfortunately, he graduated in 1930 in the middle of a depression. In the middle of a depression, and had to go to work and had to forego those scholarships. And as a result, my father was a furniture manufacturer all his life, was educated to a level that we're not in this room educated today. But he grew up with a great deal of commitment to Jewish values and Jewish cultures, and drummed into us, as my siblings who are here can say, and thank you for being here, he drummed into us education, 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 and you don't come home with anything but straight A's, because he didn't have that opportunity. And we responded. But that's where I began where I am today. My parents, from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. We moved here when I was a junior in high school. Tough transition. Academically, I was way behind from a little red schoolhouse, so to speak. And athletically, I played football, and we won 49 straight in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and at Beverly Hills High School, where my parents rented a duplex in Beverly Hills. At Beverly Hills High School, we went 0-9 my first year. Not fun. But my dad started dragging me to little things, like a City of Hope dinner. When I was actually very young, maybe 10 or 11, he dragged me to a Sunday afternoon. I can still so vividly remember this. He dragged me to a place, it was an Elks organization or a Moose. They used to have these clubs back east. And there was a guy by the name of Sam Rothberg from Peoria, Illinois, and a woman named Golda Meir from Israel, soliciting money through Israel bonds. That's 1951, 1952. And that's why I'm standing here today. Because those beginnings, and those beginnings have led to tonight. Tonight, where UCLA is a big supporter of tonight. We have the Anderson School through the Ziman Center for Real Estate at UCLA. We've got the UCLA healthcare system here. And we have the Chancellor's Office, the UCLA Department of Advancement. And then there's my Hebrew University family, they're here. My Los Angeles Business Council people are here. City of Hope people, you're here too. LA Jewish Home. And I will say, before my father passed away, because he was very active in the home, he said to me, please, do me one favor. The old people, too many people turn their backs on the old people. Please help the Jewish home, help the old people. Let me just, that's Orna, we got Lynn Bider, we already covered that, we covered this. Anti-Semitism. Growing up in Williamsport, Pennsylvania, and I'll just be a few more minutes, but some of these stories hit home. We've all heard that especially from Jeffrey Abrams, ADL, and AJC, and Sharon Nazarian, who's also here. We hear about the enormous rise of anti-Semitism. And I can tell you, I, as a young man, for the first 15 years of my life, suffered a lot of anti-Semitism. I mean, when I played football, there would be swastikas scratched on with chalk on my locker. When I was 7 or 8, a buddy of mine, Carl, we used to call him Carl the Spook, he said, come on over, my mom's baking cupcakes, and we can have some. And I went to her home, his home. And while I was there, his mother came over to me and said, show me your scars. I said, what do you mean scars? Show me your scars. I don't know what you mean. She said, the scars where, you're Jewish, they took the horns off your head. So think about that. And those same kinds of things today are happening. We've all heard about Jews and blood from children. We've all heard about those ugly things, but they're there. They're on the internet. They're everywhere. So it's a heightened alarm. Anti-Semitism is rampant. What's going on in Israel, obviously, we're all there. It's difficult. It's sad. So I've been very lucky. Very lucky. I stand up here because of that luck, having had opportunities, been able to take advantage of those opportunities, which gave me the time in turn, the resources in turn, to be involved in the many organizations and many others that I've enumerated tonight. So for that, I thank you. I thank you wholeheartedly for this honor. I promised 15, 17 years ago at the City of Hope dinner that I wouldn't do this again, but the Federation called. I thought it was a great opportunity. I did not realize, of course, at the time Michael and I accepted that what a great opportunity it would be to try again, once again, to make a difference. So I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you all for supporting. And Israel High. Thank you. Dinner is served. Today abon.
Listen, I just want to make an announcement. Before the dinner, we had raised over $2 million. Announced pledge tonight, we're over $2.8 million. That's almost $5 million. I imagine we'll raise over $5 million. Thank you all.
How much money we raised? 2.8 tonight, 2 before.
It was incredible. Beautiful speech. Beautiful
No,
speech.
too much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
How about a hand for our honorees, everybody? Yes, Richard and Michael. Guys, enjoy your dinner. I just want you to know one thing. The program is over, but we are serving dinner. We are serving dinner. And just remember, this is a war between good and evil, and good will prevail. Israel will defeat Hamas. Am Yisrael Chai. We'll see you soon.